Hello there everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm very excited to share with you the magic of nettles. Nettles are a beautiful early spring medicinal and magical plant. Though many tend to consider them a weed, and a pesky one at that, as they have some nasty sting to them, they're truly one of my favorite springtime herbs and hold a great deal of power in practice. Nettles namely hold magical powers of protection, purification, hex breaking, and healing. They are a masculine herb that ties to both fire and Mars, making it an exceptionally strong and sure plant to work with. Its actions are concise, and so that's something you want to be very conscious about when choosing to work with them magically. My favorite herbs for protection always tend to correspond to masculine, fire, and Mars. I find it makes some of the strongest and best protection spells. However, when working with them in this way, you do need to be a little bit conscious of why you're performing the protection, as it will be very direct and will move forward without a lot of thought. This in turn makes it exceptionally powerful, but you have to be sure that you need that kind of power in the protection you're working. I find it best works for protection when worn on the person, preferably in a spell bag or something similar, or when hung about the house. And when coupled with its purifying property, say when burned or added to water, this is further enhanced as it works to clear away negativity and protect anything further from infesting an area. Alone, its purifying property is not something I tend to work with, but working with it coupled with the protective is wonderful and powerful, and really helpful in spring cleaning senses. I tend to favor throwing a bundle of it onto a fire in order to just really quickly cleanse and purify and protect a space, but you can also add it to bundles to burn or add it to baths. Nettles are also exceptionally useful in hex breakings and can even work to send the hex back to, well, the one who sent it. I tend to find they work best when bathed in for this sense. However, you can also burn them and smolder the smoke around you. Now, I would like to say it is very unlikely that you will ever have to deal with a hex, but I do think it is a useful thing to have in your toolkit, at least just for an interesting understanding. Now, as I mentioned, nettles are a wonderful early spring medicinal. I find they work best as a food medicinal, so added into stews or pestos, or cooked and enjoyed in any way that you like to. They have a great deal of nutritional value and really help to replenish the body after the winter months. And we can see this in its magical actions as well, as it is magically healing, but especially so it helps to regain strength and replenish energy and really boost healing when placed beside the bed or in a spell bag. However, I think this is also really easily reached through teas or tinctures or vinegars. Again, as it is a food herb, you can have a lot of the herb safely. So adding it to a soup or other things like that can be another way to enjoy it. Now, nettles are very prickly plants, and it is important to prepare them properly and work with them carefully. You don't want to handle the fresh plant without gloves on, or you will definitely get some spines stuck in your fingertips that will burn and sting. Usually that only lasts to the end of the day, and it's not so bad, but it is uncomfortable. Typically the very top of the plant, the very fresh leaves, you can touch okay. You may still get a few stings, but it's not so terrible. But the more mature parts of the plant will definitely get you. You can, of course, avoid this by wearing gloves while harvesting. And once the herb is dried or has been cooked or steamed, it will no longer sting you. So it's important to keep in mind with these preparations to be careful of it while it's still fresh. I'd recommend if you were going to add it to a bath, either to add it after it's been dried or to cook it in a pot on the stove before adding it to a bath. Just allowing those little hairs to wilt all the way before bringing them close to your body. These spines are a big part of its signal of protectiveness, however, so while they are kind of a nuisance, they are there for a reason. Nettles truly are one of my favorite springtime medicinals and just plants, magical plants to work with in general. These are my favorite uses of the plant, though I'm sure there are many more, and I'd be really interested to hear how you use them and employ them in your craft. I personally am very fond of hanging up the dried bundles for protection, adding them to teas, or cooking with them. They're quite tasty and a really good green to add, and I just find that they bring a lot of joy of this new season. Not to mention, they are a very powerful herb to work with, and I personally find that, especially in the springtime, working protection spells with them really can't be matched with other materials. So with that, I hope you enjoyed. If you can and would like to, I'd really appreciate it if you checked out my Patreon. There I share art, herbal profiles like this one, which you can find the written profile for Nettle there. Currently, it was last month's upload of an herbal profile, among many, many others. I also share spells, recipes, and a ton of other fun things, and it's a wonderful community there. I also have recently started sharing workshops in the Juniper tier. Monthly, I do a live stream where I delve into a topic of interest from you all over there, and I'm able to teach a live lesson that is interactive with you guys. And it's available for 2 weeks after, so if you aren't able to make it to the live, you can still watch it after the fact later. It's all really a ton of fun, and it's a big part of what keeps things running over here. Also, if you haven't seen my other channel, I'd recommend checking that out. There I share vlogs of my daily life and more magic, herbalism, and general life things. As you can see, I recently moved to a new apartment, and over there I have a quick sneak peek at that, and I'm working on sharing more in the week to come. So lots of fun things coming your way. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having a lovely day, and I will see you soon.